Hi everyone, Mickey Jacobs here. Welcome to Angel Chat 4:30. First it was 6, then 5:30 and 5, and now 4:30. And it's still getting dark a little bit, but welcome to Angel Chat. I appreciate it. What are you doing calling me Eric instead of watching? So thank you, my friend. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. Come and say hi. I hope that you saw the change in time. So you can see me live. If no, you can always see it later in your own convenient, of course. So let me see. Super important topic today. Obviously, talk about coping with loss. Not just death of a loved one, but any loss. Of course, loss is a loss. And there are several things that I will teach you. Oh, hello, Eric. Hello, honey. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I got millions dogs around here hoovering. Let me say hi. As you know by now. Hello. Hello, Eric. That's Ladybug. Oh, hi, Robin. Good, honey. I just replied to your post, so I'm happy that you're here, Robin. Thank you. So once again, not only about not only about loss or death, but obviously my hope is to teach you here certain perspective as to how to look at major loss in life, which obviously inevitable for all of us here on planet Earth, and then you can apply it. Hopefully, my prayer to you that you would not experience major loss, but if you do, then you can apply the information and the topics. So yeah, so I touch that subject. I touch it here and there throughout every topic because this is a core important. My pleasure, Robin. My pleasure. This is important, meaning that the more spiritual you are, and you know that I don't just like that phrase without explaining, because spiritual or spirituality is a big umbrella name and have a lot of meaning. But looking at your life and believing in the concept, you know that just listening to me and waking up tomorrow morning and believing the concept I would run by you today, that's not sufficient. Of course, spirituality, like anything else, sorry, that's Max, my parrot. Spirituality, like everything else, would require a lifestyle. Hello, Sherry. Sherry, hello. Sherry, hello. Would require a spiritual lifestyle, meaning practice spirituality in a way that you inform yourself, or rather learn. And spirituality, of course, mean in general, in a nutshell, is God, more of energy, base your life out of life. Spirituality, certainly belief in the life after death, angels, the big, huge concept of the soul that is within our body, as opposed to perhaps religion that have a little bit more sets of rules. Spirituality have great simplicity, but it's something that you need to live by. You cannot just hear one video or go to one event and hear spiritual concept and be able to authentically believe and apply them to your life, meaning it takes some time, as it did me. So I'm saying all that because to overcome, or sometimes not overcome, unfortunately, or to cope with a major loss, you need, hello Dina, sorry, it's a little bit noisy today with all the animals because they were just eating. Hello Mark and Jessica, hello, thanks for joining in. So, in order to cope or overcome a loss, it's important to remember the perspective of your life from a soul perspective, which is, as you know, me saying that before, that it's a completely different perspective of your mind life on what you're doing here on planet Earth. Meaning, once you fully and authentically adapt the concept that our soul is immortal, that we come here as a school, that this is indeed one dimension, that our soul come in order to grow, in order to express more of our God within us. You would look at your life in a little bit more forgiving eyes. You would look at your life, of course we're talking about life, not just life in general, but losses that you are experiencing. You look at your life in a little bit more of a growth perspective, of a growth opportunity, no matter how difficult or heartache is the challenge we're talking here, because everything is indeed designed to contribute to the soul or the higher self that experience life within the body to grow. Obviously, when life is flatline, there's not much growth going on. The growth starts when we have challenges, when we have heartache, when we have hardship, when we have challenges, how we handle them, how we view them, how we overcome them, how we accept them. Accept is a major thing. That's all contribute to our growth. And the more challenges we have throughout the life, every life, lifetime after lifetime, the more we are able to be more spiritual, be more like God, which is exactly what it is we're using this school for. Be more loving to ourselves, to others. Now, in a little bit, hello, Susan, hello. A little bit more specific. First of all, I always like to mention that on paper, that sounds really great, you know, that life challenges supposed to teach us, and well, but until you're in that shoes, as of course being 55 years old, I have been around, you know, hardship myself as all human being. So it is easier to hear it when you don't have loss, when you don't have major, when you don't lose a loved one, when you don't go through divorce. Of course it's easier, but teaching like mine today, or similar teaching like mine, by teaching you to indeed adapt the concept that nothing is in vain. We don't die for no reason. I don't mean reason, car accident reason. I mean reason from a deeper perspective, from a bigger perspective of the soul growth. All of us, all human beings, not just Mickey or the viewers, all of us. Meaning everything has its reason, whether what it's appear in the surface makes sense, don't make sense, accident, not accident, it doesn't matter. When you really apply spiritual aspect to your life, when you know that all life, and we're not talking just loss, we're talking about good, joyful things, of course, you know, everything contribute to what we sign for. You know that this is a bigger part of my teaching, that the life we are now living, the major participants, meaning immediate family, close friends, spouse, previous spouse, as well as future spouse, are all there pre-designed by the soul in order for growth, in order for everyone to grow. So when you adopt that concept, when you truly believe in it, as if you will believe like religion people believe. I'm bringing that example of religious, because if you would come across someone who's very religious, they would follow the Bible to the T, they would follow a preach to the T. Why not follow the spirituality? You also can see if it makes sense to you. So when you adapt that and life, not life, it's us, and things throw our way a major loss, it is absolutely easier to cope with that in a way that you look at that, you look what can you learn from it, as much as a cliche or wishy-washy. This is exactly what it's designed to do. You look at other people, what is the design for them to do? Now, naturally, I'm sure some of you think, how is the death of my child, or how is a car accident, or how is a major illness, which essentially it is also a loss of health, of course. How is a divorce? Well, divorce is a major growth opportunity for us, because when you look back, for those of you that were married before, or for those of you that had bad experience with deep relationship, if you look back, you'll be able to see indeed how much it's contribute to who you are today. Your mistake, your good thing, your bad thing. So of course it's all contribute to that. When you experience that, it's pretty crappy. Talking from experience, of course, that's natural, it is. But yet, if you look at it from a broader perspective, you're also going to be able to work on your guilt. Loss often comes with guilt, whether it is a divorce, even a loss of a loved one. A lot of people, naturally, I work with grief. A lot of people come my way and carry a grief of the other person passing, even if they were not in touch with them. We kind of a guilty kind of a species. We jump to feel guilty just the way we are because we are very heavy, energetically kind of a species. The mind always thinks. So when you look at the bigger perspective, once again, when you believe in the core concept of spirituality, that nothing happened for no reason, don't pay attention how it's look of the outside. It doesn't matter. Everything have a reason to it. Everything was agreed upon by the souls. Everything is designed for us to grow, to utilize this planet for growth. It would help you to feel less guilty. That's even common sense, obviously. Another thing I see different with people that can or able to handle their grief and loss with a little bit more spiritual eyes, if you will, to one that don't, is if you let your mind reason why a loss come your way, if you let your mind or brain or ego, sometimes it's being called without throwing too many phrases out there, if you let your reason, thank you, if you let your reason come forward and kind of try to interpret loss, it would drag you like a wild river. There is no sense in the mind, specifically a loss or tragedy that don't make sense, like a car crash, like someone die young and they were perfectly healthy, like a illness of people that were healthy, that like divorce and one spouse say, I don't know what's happened, I thought I was the perfect spouse. Because you cannot look at it from the perspective of the mind, because the mind is not equipped to interpret the real reason of losses on planet Earth. The mind job is to follow the five senses. Certainly we need the mind. It's a physical dimension, of course. But when you start and giving reasoning by your mind, it would do nothing but bring you even more question mark. You would be even more shaky and scattered, because the mind would keep bringing things just in order to feel better that there is a reason. Yes, there is a reason. Of course there is a reason. Everything, the Creator have great, he loves us. He have great mercy for us. He is aware what a harsh planet this is it. We don't just come here and people die young and we have divorces and we become ill, Everything has to do with our free will. A free will that we have here, free will that we have in between lives, meaning in the spirit world, and everything is designed in order to, once again, grow. And what I mean by that is obviously express more of God. So, there's cats and dogs in here. If you don't adopt that concept, because a lot of people having a hard time, specifically, especially again, if you are within difficult time, if you don't adopt that, then what I always advise people is kind of applying to your own intuition. Once again, as a spiritual teacher, my job is merely to awakening your spiritual amnesia that's happened at the time of birth. When we arrive into a new body, we kind of get wiped out of all what really is, where we came from, God as energy, a higher power, if you will, that we are not afraid of that. We are immortal, multi-dimensional beings, that this is indeed school that we chose to enter to that specific life, and of course every life would be different, so we don't have that memory. Our job, spiritually speaking, is throughout a life, every life on earth, is to rediscover it, becoming re-enlightenment again. We do that by ourselves. We do that with the help of other teachers, such as myself. So what I'm saying is that the information I'm telling you, the reasoning behind loss and pain, you have that information. Of course, the less spiritual we are, meaning the more thinking, the more we attach to life and planet Earth, once again, the more we do not see the bigger picture of where we came from and what we're doing here, the less chance that we'll be able to look at our loss and pain in that perspective. That's just common sense. That's why grow spiritually mean, as I started right away, is gather information, go to event, get books, meditate, connect yourself. I don't have a special gift. I taught myself how to connect to spirit. I taught myself how to awaken my own memory. And my hope is the information I hope that every spiritual teacher hope is to awaken your own memory so it will resonate with you. So when you come across a heartache or hardship or a loss, hello Betsy, hello honey, I love that name Betsy, it's so cute. So when you come across a loss, then you obviously practice it, and that's cute, shalom Betsy, and you'll be able to just handle it a little bit better. So it's always go back to the core of preparing yourself by growing spiritually, by even when life is calm, even when there is no any hardship, even when the marriage is good and there's no divorce and everyone's healthy. Of course, it's inevitable. There is no incarnation on planet Earth that the soul would not prepare or include a loss within the life. It just doesn't matter. Otherwise, we're all going to die at a 100-year-old and we'll be healthy and happy. It just doesn't happen. So, nor there's other reason other than we are planning it as it's related to karma, paying back balance to the universe, previous weaknesses that we were unable to overcome from previous lives. Everything include in this life that you now live, and that's include good, include bad, include pain and loss. So when you know that with all your core, it doesn't mean that when thing is hard you're not gonna cry. Of course, I'm a human being like all others. It doesn't mean that you become a cold machine. It doesn't mean that you welcome pain and suffering and loss. Of course not. You still live here, and you're still within the spiritual amnesia, if you will. Of course, it doesn't mean that. We also have the natural reaction of the physical body, which it is grief, which it is sadness, which it is hopeless, which what happened with loss, which it is guilt. It doesn't mean that. It's mean that the more you open yourself to what is, and the truth is, the spiritual truth, Mickey's spiritual truth, and of course you apply it to if it's resonate with you, is that nothing just happened to us. It's all design. So, which bringing me to the next topic is, when you come across pain, you can remember all of Mickey teaching as you want. You will grieve. You will cry. You should grieve. You should cry. This is just something that you want to express out of your system. You can be all spiritual you want, and if something major happened, you don't walk around with smile and say, that's great, I had a divorce, or God forbid, I lost a spouse or a child. No, it doesn't design. It's designed to understand that it's painful. Tragedy is tragedy. Today's video is not meant to tell you to switch the word tragedy or pain or divorce or cancer. It doesn't design like that. It's designed, hello Cindy, hello honey. It's designed to teach you that it's part of the school, it's inevitable. As far as the soul is concerned, it's an accelerated growth. The more hardship an incarnation is being packed with, it's called blueprint. The more there is hardship, whether it is a difficult childhood, whether it is, illnesses of the mind, of the body, major event like that, the more they are included within a life, the more opportunity to grow. Even the serenity prayers, because I'm really big of the serenity prayer. Hello, honey. Sorry you're late. It's okay, honey. Press play. Later on, Cindy. I'm happy you're here, honey. Even the serenity prayer, did I say? I think I said that last week. I love it. It's really lovely, serenity prayer. It's tell you to use hardship as a pathway to peace. That's exactly what it is. When you come across pain or loss or hardship, you allow yourself, you're not hard on yourself, you don't rush the grief, you don't try to appear strong or cry how much others want you to cry or not cry. This is just what's happened, and this is sad. Because if someone leave us, they still left us. It doesn't matter all the spirituality. Here, today. We have a parrot, and I adore her. But one time I'm going to bring Maxine. Want to bring her, honey? Yeah, let's see if I can bring Maxine.
It's the twilight.
Yeah, it is. So no, it's not designed for you to be cold and from now on suppress your feelings because it's spiritual and it's have a reason for it. Of course not. But the more you rely on this information, which is what is. I gather this information from spirit over the years, from experience. We're working with thousands of people from my own life. That I know that when difficult things happen is rely on why they happen, learn from them, teach other people from there, and of course, that's without say, is believe in a higher power. Of course, everything is very much governed by the higher power, God, Creator, and then, oh look, the light is on. I'm not sure, honey. It's forgiving, the no light. Doesn't have to have a perfect makeup. I like it. It's like going on a date for you single people. Go on a date and go to a restaurant that it's dim because we look good. So, Robin, I know that you mentioned that you're having a hard time right now. Shoot me a quick note and tell me if the information does help you, honey. Because it is important, and that's why I reply to your post reading, and I'm sorry you're going through something like that. But we all do, we all will, at one point or another, we all have to pray that we didn't sign for anything major. We all have to pray that this is not an energy that we attract. We can touch it in another video. Sometimes we can attract hardship. Again, even what we attract, even accident, even real accident, as I call it, everything is there for us to learn and to grow. So, yeah. So I hope you like it. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. I'm hoping my information would help you, but I'm more hoping and praying that you would never experience any major loss. And if you do, then I'm praying that you would have the strength and your memory going to be awakened so you would know better how to cope with it and handle it. So thank you, guys. I'll talk to you. Keep bring the topic. If you have any topic, I'll be happy to talk to you about it. Otherwise, look for the announcement as to next Angel Chat. Thanks a lot, guys. Take good care. Mwah. Bye.